They are a used pair of Jordan 1 highs. Found them on Facebook. Guy that was selling them, super cool. Shout out to you if you ever end up watching this. Shout out to you giving us some steals and deals. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 80 of going from $100 all the way up to $100,000. Now, from last episode, we got to a grand total of $10,976.39. Now, you guys are all probably wondering, like, how is it taking him 80 episodes just to get to $10,000? And to be honest, guys, we have probably like close to that $100,000 markup in our inventory alone. We have so much stuff in capital, literally tens and tens and tens of $1,000s in our inventory that we're actively trying to sell, plus a couple thousand, maybe around 10-ish thousand in an inventory that we're holding on to as an investment stake. We have Jordan 4s, Jordan 1, Jordan 1 lows, Jordan 1 mids. We got a bunch of stuff that we are holding on to as an investment stake, and those have gone up a decent amount recently. Now we're probably going to add some of that stuff back into our inventory because next week's episode is actually sneaker swap, so I'm going to be bringing a bunch of our inventory there and hopefully selling a lot of it. Probably going to bring some of the stuff we're holding on as an investment. We have lots of Jordan 4 Lightnings. I'm on the fence if I want to bring those or not, or just hold on to them for a little bit longer. But there's some Jordan 1 mids and lows that I'm most likely going to bring there. But with that being said, guys, we're going to go hit up the stores 2 times this episode. Hopefully walk away with a bunch of new stuff in our inventory. Now let's waste no more time, head up to some stores and see what we can pick up today. Okay, we are back and we got a lot of stuff today. Lots of these Air Force 1 highs that we got for around $100. Lots of sizes in each colorway. Spoiler alert, we did get 2 different colorways. It is the Billie Eilish collab with them. I don't know how well you can see like the branding on the box itself. As you can see, it says Billie Eilish right there. Then on both sides, it does say it's harder to stop once it starts. And yeah, cool little details with these. Unfortunately, not the biggest seller. However, we only got them for $100 when that retail price is $230. So some decent steals, you know, but we're not going to sell them for anything crazy. Lots of little details of the box and paper as well. And like I said, we got 2 different colorways. First off are these ones. The slightly less valuable one, this dark green colorway. Now you guys are probably noticing right off rip that it has a ton of straps on them. Very, very weird, very out there. Not something everyone could wear. And the main thing that I really don't like about these is, do you know how long it's going to take you to be able to put these on every single day, take them on and off? Because every single one of these, you gotta undo them, every single strap, then loosen it up, put your feet in. It's gonna take like a 30 minutes just to put these on and off. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of them. Plus it does come with laces. I don't know how well you guys can see on camera, but even the lace lock right there has that little Billie Eilish like logo on it. So pretty cool collab. Is it something I would wear? No. Even the inside does have some cool details. I'll take them out for you guys, even though it's gonna take a hot ass minute because it comes with all these freaking straps, but give me 1 second. Okay, so wasn't as hard as I thought, but definitely a little time consuming. It does look like it's made out of this all like recycled material. Has a logo on the back here, but the inside, it looks like a bunch of melted marshmallows or something really weird. And it's hard too, like, I don't know how well you can hear that. Even the back part, not really that soft, very, very hard. So not the biggest fan. Don't know how comfy these are gonna be with this as like the inside. And even the inside, that's pretty cool, I guess. I'm not gonna take it out to show you guys though, because that's just gonna take way too long. But it does say it's harder to stop once it starts. I don't know if you can see it in there at all, but yeah, cool details. A very painful shoe to get on and off. Even the employees at the Nike outlet were not yelling, but you know, getting mad at people just trying to shove their foot in because they're not unlacing it or anything. They're literally just shoving their foot in, kind of destroying the shoe. So yeah, don't really have that much time to be taking off a shoe like this and spending majority of my time unlacing the shoe. But Other than that, we did get this colorway as well as this nicer tan colorway. I like this colorway a lot more. Still don't really like the shoe like that, but this colorway is a lot nicer in my opinion. But yeah, you have to let me know in the comments below, would you guys ever wear a shoe like this? And having them side by side, as you can see, this colorway is a lot nicer than this colorway, in my opinion though. But if you guys think this colorway is better, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, we did pick up a lot of these. They'll all be listed at the end of the episode once we go over our brand new total, but majority of stuff we picked up were these. Next up, some women's Nike Dunk lows. We got a 6.5 women's. Only really picked these up just to bring the sneaker swap next week, so that's only the real reason I bought these, because the resale value isn't anything insane. More than likely I should be able to make a few bucks bring them to the event. Hopefully that's the plan at least. But yeah, decent little colorway. Hopefully they sell well at the event, but that is the main reason I bought these. We paid 168 bucks for them, so pretty high retail price, but hopefully they move relatively good at the event. Then we got 2 pairs of these Nike Dunk lows. It's this purple and pink colorway. They do move relatively good, and another shoe that I should be able to make a little bit of profit on bringing them to the event by themselves. I do like this colorway, nice purple and pink accents on the shoe, and a very, very good shoe to bring to an event like this, so hopefully it does well. Then a crazy amount of these Jordan 1 lows. It's the true blue colorway. You've seen them before. I think this might have been the first time we got grade school sizes, but we got 5, 5.5, and a lot of 7s. Hopefully they sell decently well at the event. I'm planning on selling these for relatively cheap, considering they're only like $110. Not expecting to make the most amount of money on these, but I'm planning on selling them decently cheap to move them pretty easily at the event. So that's another reason I bought these, mainly because hopefully at the event they can sell. So yeah, if you guys haven't noticed by now, we are buying a lot of stuff to bring to the event. Same thing that happened last year. We bought a bunch of stuff in preparation for the event. And that being said, we did pick up these, bringing them to the event. Do I think they're gonna be like crazy? I don't even know if I'm gonna sell them, to be honest, but it is this pair. You guys might remember it from the packaging, but it is this anniversary pair of Air Force 1 lows. In my opinion, one of the cleaner pairs. This nice metallic colorway. It's a size 8.5, unfortunately. Might go back to the outlet and pick these up in a 10.5 as a personal, because I really do like this. Plus a little bit of like a secret thing on it. On the other shoe, as you guys can see here, comes with its own little toothbrush to like clean the shoe. Cool little details, as you can see here. Just a nice all white toothbrush to clean your shoes with, and it comes with like a little like history book of the Air Force 1 low. Really cool like storytelling and little details of the shoe, which I absolutely love. And yeah, clean colorway. Hopefully they sell nice at the event. Not having too much high hopes for them. I am holding on to these for the event. I'm like putting it on hold, not actively trying to sell them. So hopefully next week when we go to the event, you'll see that these have sold. Okay, I might have lied. I did say those silver pair might be my favorites, but we did get this pair, a size 10.5 and an 8.5. It's the exact same thing, the same like anniversary pair. However, it is in this brown colorway. Yeah, if this is an 8.5 and 10.5, and if these don't sell at the event, I'm gonna keep them as a personal. Just a nice clean brown pair of Air Force 1, like a beater shoe that I can have. Plus it comes with that toothbrush, which I think is actually hilarious and a pretty cool detail that you don't really see in a lot of shoes. Then finally at the Nike outlet, probably the best thing we picked up today, some PSG Jordan 5 lows. Original retail of these is $260. We got them for $188, including tax. Comes with that all green inside that we like usually see with PSG collab. Not gonna lie, it's not the worst shoe, but it's also not the most amazing shoe. It's a Jordan 5 low. Not the biggest fan of Jordan 5 lows. I do have a decent amount in like my collection of Jordan 5s, but Jordan 5 low, not the biggest fan. You guys have to let me know in the comments below. Are you a big fan of the Jordan 5 lows? Because for me, it's not cutting it, you know. It's a nice colorway and all that, but if these were a high, you know, if these were a high, I might have picked them up as a personal because it would have looked better in my opinion. It does have that little stamp at the back, the little tag on the side, you know, a lot of little details that we come to expect from the PSG collabs with Jordan brand. But yeah, you guys have to let me know because there's a copper drop. Let me know in the comments below. In my opinion, big drop, but they do have some decent resale value. We got bigger sizes like 13 down to 11, I think is the smallest pair we got around 5-ish pairs. And yeah, with that super cheap price point, you should be able to make some good profit off these. Yeah, that's everything we picked up today. And you know, the last couple episodes have been a little bit dry, but This has completely turned us around. We bought a bunch of stuff in that one day alone. We're gonna go hit up the stores one more time, guys. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we were supposed to hit it up 3 times, but the camera died the first time we went there. So this is actually like the second time I went. That was just a compilation of all the stuff we got first and second time going. But the camera died literally after the first shoe that we recorded in store. So that's why we're only technically going twice, but in reality we did go 3 times. That being said, let's waste no more time, head up to some stores one last time and see what we can pick up. We got a bunch of good stuff again. We got a lot of stuff this episode. Honestly, the amount of stuff we got today is probably the same we got the last 2 episodes, if not more, just because those episodes are really dry. First off, we didn't get these in any store or anything. However, we paid $225 for these. They are a used pair of Jordan 1 highs. Found them on Facebook. Guy that was selling them, super cool. Shout out to you if you ever end up watching this. Shout out to you giving us some steals and deals. It is a Jordan 1 high core purple 2.0s. Best believe the only reason I picked these up, yes, I can flip them for some decent profit at $225, but the main reason is sneaker swap, you know, coming up next week. These are definitely coming with us. Should be able to sell these super easily. They're in really good condition, not gonna lie. They are a little bit dirty, but I'll show you guys real quick. The soles, like, there is absolutely zero star loss or anything like that. Super clean. Once I give these a little bit of like a scrub down, they should look practically brand new. It even comes with the purple laces. I love the purple lace look on these, but yeah, super clean pair of these. Should move really easily for us, especially at that event. Size 10.5, my size. I already have a personal pair of these, but if I didn't, best believe these would be mine. Okay, next up we got these Nike Prestos in the University Blue colorway. Got 4 pairs, a 13, 12, and 2 size 11s. It's a super clean colorway, guys, really clean. Not really much to say about them. I don't own any Prestos, however, I say this like every time I talk about Prestos or like super comfortable shoes. I do have the Nike Presto Reacts. Now, these are extremely underrated. Definitely one of the best, if not my most comfortable shoe. Now, the only thing that like is making me so sad right now, guys, is I don't know how well I can show on camera, but it is starting to get a hole in it. I noticed this like the other day when I wore them. Such a sad day, but definitely 100% recommend if you guys ever find these in store, try them on. They are stupidly comfortable, plus pretty thick soles right there, give you some good height, so can't complain about that. But let's not talk about these anymore because we didn't pick these up. We picked up this pair, picked up 4 pairs for around $80. Should move them for a decent profit. Am I gonna bring them to a sneaker swap? Not too sure yet. Gonna try to sell them beforehand, but yeah, can't complain about these. Next up, for $110, we got these Jordan 12s in the floral colorway. It's literally just like a playoff colorway, but it has these nice hints of flowers all around the shoe. Can't complain about that. Really clean colorway here. And yeah, paying only $110 for them, should be able to move them for a decent profit. Okay, next up, a shoe you guys might be familiar with if you've been watching for a hot minute now. We have these Air Max 95 N7s. It is this colorway right here. It's a super like heavy duty material. The inside super comfy, but like the material usage alone, it's a lot of very nice materials on it, and we only paid like $110 for them. It does come like a little stash right there to put straight on the tongue. And yeah, we got 2 more pairs, mainly because we got them for even cheaper than we got beforehand. And yeah, another shoe that should move really fast. Am I gonna bring these ones to the sneaker swap? I don't know. If I don't sell them by then I will bring them, but I'm hopefully planning on trying to sell them pretty quickly here. Not like holding on to them or anything, but yeah, decent little shoe we got here. Then we got 4 pairs of these Air Force 1 lows in this nice super neutral all white and pink accent colorway. Such a clean colorway here. Only paid I think around like $90 for these. I might bring these ones to the event as well if they don't sell. I'm not like actively holding on to these until the event. I am trying to sell them, so if they do sell by then, it is what it is. Next up, we got 2 pairs of Jordan 1 lows. Paid $152.25. It's a nice, super light pink, maybe like a purplish colorway. Nothing crazy about these. I'm most likely bringing these to the event as well. Don't think I'm going to be selling them like until I get to the event. Got only 2 pairs, size 8 and 7.5 women's, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but more likely than not, these will just be held on till the event. And then finally, we got 2 pairs of these Jordan Why Not 3s in this colorway. It's almost like an infrared colorway. We only paid $75 for them. Size 9.5 and 11.5. I am most likely not bringing these to the event, but might change my mind. But most likely than not, these are just going to stay here or hopefully sell before then. And yeah, guys, that's everything we did buy this episode. And the camera, it's telling me it's almost dead, so we gotta speed things up around here. So let's go over everything we sold this episode, starting with the Puma LaMelo Ball MB02 Rick and Morty Adventures. We sold all of our sizes, the 13, 12, all 3 of the 11s, both of the 10.5s, both of the 10s, and both of the 6.5s. Then in the honeycomb colorway, we sold the size 13, 12, both of the 11s, and the 10.5. Then in the Nike Lunar Force 1 Duck Boot Gum Black, we sold both of our 10.5s. Then in the Air Force 1 Low Black Royal Carbon Fiber colorway, we sold both of our 11s. Then in the Black Gold Jersey Mesh colorway, we sold the size 13. Then in the La Familia colorway, we sold the size 8. Then in the Jordan 7 Barely Grape, we sold the size 7Y, both of the 6.5Ys and the 6Y. Then the Jordan 11 Low Cement Gray, we sold both of the 13s and both of the 6.5Y. Then finally in the IE Light Brown colorway, we sold both of the 13s. And yeah, decent amount of stuff we sold this episode. Really happy about that. A lot of this stuff is starting to sell really fast, so can't complain about that. But with that being said, let's go over everything in our inventory, including all the stuff we bought today, starting with then in the Adidas Adilet 22 Desert Sand colorway, we have a size 8. Then in the Nike Offline 2.0 Summit White colorway, we have a size 13, 11, 2 10s, a 9.5, 9, and 8.5. The Nike Air Zoom Tempo Next Percent Flyknit in the White Hyper Violet Flash Crimson colorway in a size 8. Then in the Presto University Blue White colorway, we have a 13, 12, and 2 11s. Then in the Nike SB Alley-Oop Black Toe colorway, we have a 13, 11.5, 11, 10, and 9. Then in the black and white colorway, we have an 11 and 9. Then in the white colorway, we have an 11.5, 11, and 10. Then in the Nike Killshot 2 Leather Sail Oil Gray Gum colorway, we have a size 10.5, 2 10s, an 11, and an 11.5. Then in the Sail Gum colorway, we have a size 9, 9.5, 10, 11, and 12. Then we have the SEM Frank Rudy colorway in a size 13, 12, 11, and 10.5. Then in the normal M Frank Rudy colorway, we have a 12, 11, and 10.5. Then in the black metallic silver colorway, we have 2 9s. Then in the light bone colorway, we have a size 10.5 and 9.5. Then in the N7 colorway, we have a 12 and 10. Then in the Nike Air Max 90 Terrascape Raider Foam Black White colorway, we have 2 size 10s, 2 8.5s, and an 8. Then in the Gore-Tex Photo Dust colorway, we have a size 13, 2 12s, 3 11.5, 2 11s, 2 10.5s, 3 10s, and a 9.5. Then in the olive black reflective colorway, we have 2 13s, a 10, 9, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Recraft triple black colorway, we have 2 13s and a 10. Then in the M Frank Rudy colorway, we have a 13 and 11. Then in the Tunnel Walk colorway, we have a 13, 12, 11, 10.5, and 3 9s. Then in the Nike Air Max 2017 Cool Gray colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, 11, 2 10.5, 2 10s, a 9, and 7.5. Then in the Wolf Gray colorway, we have a size 13, 12, 11, 10.5, and 10. Then in the Binary Blue Obsidian colorway, we have a size 12 and 11. Then in the Pure Platinum colorway, we have a size 13, 12, 11, 10.5, 10, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Triple Black colorway, we have a size 14, 12, 10.5, 3 10s, 2 9.5s, a 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5, and 2 7. The Air Max Correlate White Black Red colorway in 11.5. 9.5. Then in the pure platinum colorway, we have a 10.5 and 9. Then in the club purple turquoise blue colorway, we have a 9.5 women's. Then in the black white gray colorway, we have a size 13, 12.5, 11, 3 10.5s, a 9, 8.5, 2 8s, a 7.5, and 2 7s. Then in the high SP Billie Eilish Sequin, we have a size 12, 11, 10.5, 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Billie Eilish mushroom colorway, we have a size 12, 10.5, 10, 2 9.5, 2 9s, 2 8.5s, and an 8. Then in the Air Force One low triple white, we have an 11.5. Then in the reflective swoosh white blue colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the Uno colorway, we have a 12, 9.5, 7, 3 6.5s, and a 6. Then in the Next Nature white pale coral colorway, we have a 12, 10, 8.5, and 8 women's. Then in the white black pebbled leather colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the University blue colorway, we have a 13 and 11.5. Then in the white metallic silver colorway, we have an 8.5. Then in the white chocolate colorway, we have a 10.5 and 8.5. The Air Max 1 crepe brown, we have 2 13s, a 12.5, 12, 3 11.5, 2 11s, a 10.5, 2 10s, 2 9.5s, 2 9s, an 8.5, 3 7.5s, a 6.5, and 6. Then in the George Green colorway, we have a size 8 and 7. Then in the dirty denim colorway, we have 2 13s, 2 12s, 2 10.5s, a 10 and 8.5. Then in the black white black colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, 10.5, 10. Then 2 8.5 women's and 3 9 women's. Then in the barely rose colorway in a 9 women's. Then in the triple white colorway in a size 11.5, 11, 10.5, 10, and 9.5. Then in the Nike Air Max 270 Golf black and white, we have a 13 and 8.5. Then in the Oreo colorway, we have an 8, 7.5, and 6 women's. Then in the triple black colorway, we have a size 10.5. Then in the Nike Air Max Plus white pure platinum, we have a size 10, 9, 8.5, 8, 7, and 6.5 women's. Then in the white grape ice colorway, we have 2 13s and 11, 10.5, 10, 2 9s, and an 8. Then in the black silver white colorway, we have 3 13s, 4 12s, 2 11.5s, 3 10.5s, a 10, 3 8.5s, and an 8. Then in the black University blue colorway, we have a 13, 12, 11, and 10.5. Then in the white colorway, we have 2 13s, 3 12s, 4 11, and 2 10.5s. Then in the spirograph colorway, we have a 13, 10.5, 2 9.5s, and a 9. Then the Air Max Thea Mid Ale Brown colorway, we have an 11, 8, 3 7.5s, and a 7 women's. Then in the black sail colorway, we have a 9, 8.5, 3 8, a 7.5, and 6.5 women's. Then in the React Infinity Run black iron gray, we have a 10.5 and 9.5. Then in the black colorway, we have a 13, 9, and 8. Then in the leopard colorway, we have a 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, and 5.5 women's. Then in the wolf gray colorway, we have a 14, 12, 2 11.5, 3 11, 2 10.5, a 10, 9.5, 3 9s, and 8.5, and 8. Then in the black and white colorway, in women's, we have 3 8.5s, 3 8, 2 7.5, 2 7s, a 9 and 9.5. Then in men's, we have 3 13s, 2 12s, 3 11.5s, 3 11s, 2 10.5s, 3 10s, 2 9.5s, 5 9s, 4 8.5s, and 1 8. The Nike Air Structure OG white neo teal colorway, we have 2 13s, 3 12.5s, 3 12s, 3 11.5s, 3 11, 4 10.5s, 3 10s, a 9.5, 2 9s, an 8.5, 8, and 7.5. Then in the black smoke gray colorway, we have 3 13, 5 12s, an 11.5, 11, 2 10.5s, a 9.5, 9, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Nike Free RN black anthrite colorway, we have a 13, 12.5, 12, 11.5, 10.5, 2 10s, a 9.5, 2 9s, and 2 8.5. Then in the black white ombre colorway, we have a 10.5, 9.5, and 9. Then in the wolf gray colorway, we have an 11, 10.5, 10, and 9.5. Then in the peach cream colorway, we have a size 10 women's, 2 9.5s, a 9, 2 8.5s, an 8, 2 7.5s, a 7, and 6 women's. Then in the Just Do It Sail Team Red, we have a 6.5 women's. Then in the Indigo Haze, we have an 8 and 7.5 women's. Then in the Panda colorway, we have an 8 women's. Then in the Phantom Metallic Gold colorway, we have an 8.5, 9.5, and two 10 women. Then in the Terry Swoosh colorway, we have a 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5, and 5 women's. Then in the Light Smoke Gray colorway, we have a 6 and 7 women's. Then in the Arizona State colorway, we have a 13 and 12. Then in the Pink Oxford colorway, we have a 10, 2 9 women's, 2 8.5s, a 7.5, 7, and 6.5 women's. Then in the Next Nature Rift Blue colorway, we have a size 10. Then in the Essential Paisley Pack Barely, we have a size 7.5 women's. Then in the Miami Hurricanes colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the Acid Wash Baltic Blue Volt colorway, we have a 1Y. Then in the Deadpool colorway, a 6.5Y. Then in the Anthrite White colorway, we have a size 12, 11, 10, 9.5, and 9. Then in the Jordan Why Not 0.5 Bloodline, we have an 11.5 and 9.5. Then in the Jordan Zion 2 Voodoos, we have 3 10.5s and 2 10s. Then in the Jordan 13 University Blue, we have 8 13s, 4 12s, 6 11.5, 6 11s, a 10.5, and 9.5. Then in the French Blue colorway, we have a 6.5 and 6Y. Then in the Playoff colorway, we have a 7Y. Then in the Jordan 12 Floral colorway, we have a 7Y, 2 6.5s, a 6, 5.5, and 4Y. Then in the Jordan 11 Cherries, we have a size 10, 8.5, 8, 6Y, 2 4.5Ys, 3 4Ys, and 2 3.5Ys. Then in the Jordan 9 Fire Reds, we have 3 13, 6 12s, 6 11s, 11 10.5s, 2 9.5s, 3 9s, 2 8.5s, and 8 and 7. Then in the Jordan 7 Citruses, we have a size 12, 2 11s, a 10.5, and 10. Then in the Jordan 6 Georgetowns, we have 6 13s, 2 12s, 6 11, 2 10.5s, a 10, 2 9.5s, a 9, and 8. Then in the Jordan 5 UNCs, we have 4 size 13s, a 12, and a size 8. Then in the Jordan 5 Low PSG, we have a size 11. Then in the Jordan 4 Midnight Navy, we have 2 size 5Ys. Then in the Seafoam colorway, we have a size 10 and 9.5 women's. Then in the Dark Iris colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, and 11. Then in the White Cement Reimagined, we have 2 4Ys. Then in the Marina Blue colorway, in a size 6 women's. Then in the True Blue colorway, we have 7 7Ys, a 5.5, and a 5Y. Then in the Barely Grape colorway, we have an 8.5 and 8 women's. Then in the Game Royal colorway, we have a 12. Then in the Stealth colorway, we have a size 10, 9, 8.5, 8, and 7.5 women's. Then in the Jordan 1 High Taxis, we have 2 7Ys, 4 13, and a size 8. Then in the Lost and Found colorway, we have a size 1.5Y, 2 1Ys, a 5C, and a 7C. The Stealth colorway in a 6 and 4Y. Then in the NYC to Paris colorway, we have a 7.5. Then the White Black Volt University Gold colorway in a 9.5. Then in the Court Purple 2.0, we have a 10.5. Then in the Starfish colorway, we have a 7.5, 7, 2 6.5s, 2 6, a 5.5, and 5 women's. And finally, the Jordan 1 High Dior's in a size 9.5. And yeah, that is everything, guys. If you are new here and you're wondering why we only have $10,000, that's only in cash. The rest of it is in our inventory like you just saw right now. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of my newest videos. And yeah, I'm very excited to see where this puts us tally-wise. So let's waste no more time and roll our brand new tally right now.